start that off again. I had a few people ask me about Land Between the Lakes the other day, and I figured I would share my thoughts on it while I'm off to return a couple of videos. Okay. Well, Land Between the Lakes is one of my favorite places. Certainly it's my favorite place in the central U.S. It is basically a land-bound peninsula that is about no more than 50 miles long. Depends on where you stop counting the end of the peninsula, because it's got these huge lakes and rivers that really extend further down outside the bottom of the peninsula. But the peninsula really goes, I guess you would say it goes north, maybe north by northwest, and because it's this landlocked peninsula with 50 miles of lake on either side of it, it's really got its own ecosystem built within there. There's so many different areas to it. It takes, I think, like 9 hours for us to drive down there, which is a bit much, even for like a 3-day weekend. But 4-day weekend, it would work out really well. And where we've camped there before, we've camped in the horse camp. They have this area where people bring in their own horses, or you can rent horses even. But you set up tents right beside where you're keeping your horses, and it's really wonderful and unique experience to be woken up to that sound again. You really feel like you're out in the plains and out back in the old west, where you'd be woken up from your sleep out in the sleeping bags underneath the stars to the sound of horses. And anyway, it's one of the more unique experiences that I've had. Now, I should go back to telling you where it is, because it's sort of on the border of Missouri and Tennessee and Kentucky and Arkansas as well. It's just right in that one corner, down the southwest corner of Kentucky. So, I mean, if you want to do a day trip out to Mammoth Cave, that's a good trip too. It takes a few hours to get there, so make sure that you leave enough time to actually get on the tour that you've booked. We've made that mistake before, gotten there just to see everybody getting on the buses. And but anyway, there's more than enough to do right inside Land Between the Lakes itself. For example, there is an 1850s farm there, a working farm, that really shows you what all the pioneers were facing during the day. One of the biggest pigs I've ever seen in my entire life was at that farm. So they also do a show. They have sample medicine vendors come through and will sell you all sorts of concoctions to cure all your ills. They are doing an 1850s Christmas event there this year. If you go to lbl.org, you can see the calendar. That'd be worth going to. I'm tempted to take a couple days off and just drive down and participate in the 1850s Christmas, although I certainly wouldn't want to camp this time of year. So in addition, there's a planetarium there with a huge telescope. It's big enough, the park is big enough that it can actually accommodate, in addition to all the horse trails and everything, there are plenty of quad trails, and it's one of the few parks that I've seen that can have these two communities existing peacefully side by side. There is a drive-through animal preserve, so that you can drive through, and that's the drive-through part. There are buffalo that will be just roaming free. Elk, I believe. Lots of animals that you're just right out there and in the middle of. It's kind of neat. There is a swamp area for the bird watchers out there. There's lots of opportunities for renting some motorboats and going water skiing on the lakes. I don't remember a lot of sailboats, but I'm sure that there are bigger ones there. You can rent some canoes. There's many opportunities for hiking. If you like hiking, there are mountain bike trails. Really, if you've got a big family that's into lots of diverse, interesting outdoor activities, this is one of the best places in the world to go, I think. Basically, I'm sold. So, it's Land Between the Lakes. The website is lbl.org, and you can just see the flash demo there. Some of the beautiful shots of between bald eagles. Never seen bald eagles there, and all the sorts of wildlife that are there, all the mule deer and everything else. Not too much more than I think I can mention that'll help sell you the place. It's just a joy to go and do the 50-mile drive up and down the whole thing. There's a little land bridge from the top of the peninsula into the other areas of Kentucky, and there are a bunch of small towns right up there as well. That we explored a little bit. You can see some of the antique shops that are there. So if you are into antiquing, not only will you enjoy seeing the antique shops there, but all of the antiques that they have on the 1850s Pioneer Farm. Well, I should see if there are any questions. I don't know if Quick would be displaying any live chat. I don't see anything right now. But that's basically my story about Land Between the Lakes. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll answer them as best I can. All right, almost to the video play, so I'm going to see y'all later.